3号位，你觉得 XXS 的梦马跟 Collapse 的梦马相比怎么样呢
？XS 的梦马也是世界一流水平，我们训练也玩过非常多。
XXS, his Magnus is also world's top tier, and we played it a lot in our scrims.
And we're going to see how good it is in a potential championship game. Hamburg, put your hands together as we get to this game number 4.
Xtreme Gaming had the chance to exercise the demons of their history, to right the wrongs of the past. And in the face of all that gravity, Amar says, screw it, let me carry.
Give me the bear. I'll show you how it's done. From the off lane, the man in his element. I felt like it was XXS having his hero pool challenge. It was Falcon saying, how many more cards do you have up your sleeve? And Amar, he got backed into the corner. He had to pull something out. Nobody could have predicted this pick in the world. It is absolutely out from left field. He does have experience on the hero. But man, what a pick to bust out in an elimination game in a TI Grand Final.
Avery, I trust you to give it to me straight.
Yeah.
The panel said it's possible. It's possible. Well, anything's possible in the world of Dota. Is this actually going to happen, or is this just cope? What good is the off-lane Ursa?
It's a hell of an Ursa game.
Okay, break it down for me.
I mean, it's a great Ursa game. You know, he has great core matchups. Not a lot of control against him. Demonic Purge is probably the one spell you're most annoyed by, but it does relieve a lot of that carry pressure that was on the gyro. And it just felt like that gyro pick was not going to get it done. We saw it suffer in the last game. Falcons felt like they needed more scale. They were not going to tempo this game out. This is the pick to do it. All eyes on Amar. How much did you learn during your brief stint as a carry?
How much did he learn? How much did Xtreme learn? Taking the Magnus in match point.
Whew. This hero, man, it always comes back in a TI final. The playmaking is too good. The displacement is too valuable. The potential for the big plays in the team fight is always online. XXS is a Magnus master. I agree with Joey. It's a very underrated hero of his. We often forget about it, but man, it's only going to take a few good skewers in this game to break it open. Terrifying hero to play against when there's everything on the line. And there's not really a good counter to it. If you look at the Falcons lineup, your best interrupt is if you can land one of these stuns, but you know, it's not that Rubik lift. It's not the insta-hex.
No, it's going to have to be a blink, snowball, or punch from Snake King, I think is their best option, or like a quick burrow from Sand King.
But if he has BKB mag, there's almost nothing stopping this game.
Then there's only blink punch, and that feels nigh impossible.
I do like the Tusk pick, though. I think this is a hero that has worked really well for Falcons in the past. Both of their support players are absolute masters on it. It could have gone either way. And it's a hero that gives you that BKB pierce that I think they felt the pressure of lacking in that game 3. You know, when Ame goes in on this Sven, and he is just threatening to chunk you down, what is the interrupt? What happens to stall his BKB duration out and be able to turn those fights around? Tusk is a hero that can give that to you with punch plus the snowball save. It can do a lot here. Ursa can be a hard hero to jump. It's not as straightforward of a Sven game. That said, you always have the Magnus to bail you out if it really comes to it. Another just terrifying scaling lineup from XG. Another game where if you're Falcons, you want to get out ahead. You do not want to fall behind against this lineup at all.
No, certainly not. Feels like a lot of pressure. Like, sure, a lot of attention on Amar doing this secondary carry and off-lane Ursa. But doesn't this just put a lot of weight on Malreen's shoulders? He has to take the burden of all the initiation and all of the early and mid game for Falcons.
Does have his Sand King to do it, though. I think this has been his most explosive hero relative to the rest of the pack. He has really stood out on the Sand King here. He will get it in this pivotal game 4. And they went for it over that Beastmaster into the Shadow Demon, which I think was the right call. I think playing the Roars into the late game against the Disruption just felt terrible for him. This time around is a lot more AoE damage, way harder for Jin Q to go in and stall up his presence in the middle of the team fight. He can still scale like a beast.
Burrow striking away, but XN still gets a good amount of Diabolic Edict damage on this Sand King. And it's going to be one of the struggles. Malreen won't be able to just exist inside of Sandstorm. He will be outdone by the damage over time from the Leshrac.
Still, Falcons get their Hoodwink Sand King combo. This is a combo we've seen them abuse before. With the amp damage from the Boomerang into the Sand King damage, Sharpshooter on top, that's enough to take anybody out.
Disruption in the bottom lane, being run down by the Gyrocopter. Shockwave trying to separate the two of them, but Shinkyu is slowed down by the blood grenade, and the first blood will be taken by Skeeter. In turn, he's skewered back into the tower, but XXS not enough to finish him off. And just now noticing that Snake King opted for Drinking Buddies over the tag team.
This is their combo with the Gyro, right? Drinking Buddies him up, let the Flak Cannon go to work. Really nice damage buff for this hero. They have really strong combinations in this game, plus an Ursa. I'll let you decide what that's worth. Just had to throw that out there at least once.
We'll love to see the combination with that Ursa and how it happens. Epicenter being used. XM didn't expect this little bit.
No way.
No. He's stuck inside the Sandstorm. There's no way he survives a blood grenade just in case they finish him off.
Nice pickup from Maureen. Getting aggressive, had the level advantage, hit the level 6 first off some nice laning. Takes it straight to the Leshrac with a timely rotation from Crit. Probably called it over. And now Crit, he can go straight into the double stack with the Ancients, defend it against Nova, look back towards lane, and then look into that Wisdom Shrine. Very nice sequence for him. This Sand King is going to be fat. And this laning phase turning once more towards Falcons. This series has just been back and forth, both in the draft and in the first 10 minutes. It's been super pivotal for what Falcons want to do here with their lineups. They're winning this one across the board. Triple lane win for them. Gotta be happy about that.
And got some Ancient stacks, and the fact that they got that kill at the time that they did, it meant the Leshrac wasn't there to contest for the Power Rune. The Power Rune means that Maureen can either very efficiently clear out these Ancients, or he can hold on to it and make another move on that Leshrac.
You take Ancients, give the mid lane to the Hoodwink. XM's not going to be able to kick Crit out of here solo. Just super efficient early game here for Falcons. And you have a safe lane that's not easy to contest. Like, we saw the Gyro getting forced out of the lane in the game previous because that starter had such a good matchup. The Mag is not going to do something similar here, especially when you have Tusk with early Drinking Buddies to back him up. These are cores for Falcons that are going to stand on these lanes, and they're going to stand on them for a long time. If you're XG, you're going to get forced into the jungle. You need to look towards the stacking efficiency here. It's going to be a defensive game from them.
Everywhere you look, Falcons max efficiency. Maureen's going to join them here in the bottom lane. Goes after the Shadow Demon. They've got him. Burrow Strike underneath the Sandstorm. He'll try and disrupt. He can't even get that much off. Maureen does too much damage. He didn't even pop the amp damage. He'll use it now to put pressure on this off-lane tower, knowing that the Magnus is not ready to contest.
Well, this is super nice. Not normally a tower you want to prioritize early, but against the Magnus lineup, you open up both these Ancient camps. Or both these side camps and the Ancient camp. It's going to feel great.
Make a run for it, Crit. He slowed down a little bit. Amar challenging XM. With this early level 6, he can stand up to the damage of the Diabolic Edict. Crit, though, he tried to make his way, weave his way through those trees. Too many heroes from Xtreme Gaming up here, though.
I think you just let Amar exist up here. Like, you have to expect XG are going to bring some numbers up here a couple times. Try and punish this offlane Ursa, but it's also not the best hero for you to play through if you're Falcons.
With that enrage on cooldown, Xtreme have to punish him. He comes forward to try and collect some CS. That is greedy.
Need another
Will
poison.
he pay the price for it? One more poison should do it. He managed to juke that one.
Can't juke this one.
Shinkyu, he gets a little bit. No, he jukes it. He gets down to low ground. Dodges the stomp. Now he dodged another poison. He is breaking ankles left and right. Xtreme will go home empty-handed.
So much time wasted up here. So much God Strength time wasted. And Maureen just soaking it all up, putting more tower pressure. That tier 1 bottom fell. He's now putting damage into this tier 1 mid. This is not a lineup you would have expected to be taking tier 1s this fast in this game, but they've just forced heroes off the lane. And now the rotation's coming through. Skeeter TPing into mid with this Gyro, wants to secure the objective.
Yeah, Maureen backed him up in taking the offlane tower, and Skeeter will return the favor to Maureen.
And XG, they're just stacking jungle. But this is a jungle that might go straight into the Sand King if you can't defend your own side of the map.
Yeah, you have two different stack clears between the Sand King and the Gyrocopter.
Imagine Falcons get in here right now. This is the recovery for XM. I mean, he's just trying to clear through this so it doesn't get stolen. He's just low mana.
Maureen so close to a Blink Dagger. Once he gets that, Xnova, I think he made the read there. Snake King taking down the tree for a more optimal ward, but probably gives a sign to Xnova to what's going on here.
They do clear through most of the stacks for the Lesh.
And now they're hunting for Ame, but Ame's already backed out.
His Sand King already has Blink, 20 gold. Another deep ward place. This is all to set Malrine up around the map, let him control the plays. Every jump from this Sand King with support follow-up should be a kill. Battle Fury Ursa. I was wondering if we were going to see maybe some fighting build. You know, there used to be like Diffusal builds of the past or something, but no, I'm just going to carry this game. Don't worry, Skeeter. I'll put you in my backpack.
It's just so Amar. XXS chased after, missile, and a snowball, and now the ultimate over the top. Double ultimates to secure the kill.
Beautiful connection there. This is why I like the Tusk for them so much. I almost think they forgot about this hero for a little bit. They're like, oh yeah, we're super good with this hero. We have some of the best Tusk players in the world, and it'll give us a lot of more scaling comfortability. Nice combinations with our cores, great catch around the map. This hero gives you everything as long as you can get it through the lane, and they did just that.
Similar play, Malrine has been hiding his Blink Dagger for about a minute here. Finally picks it up as Crit is ready to smoke him to a part of the map that Xtreme Gaming are inhabiting.
This game is just flowing for Falcons right now. You can feel it. Everything is just coming together. And they have an Ursa. Smoke. Smoke is coming. Two-man team looking for Ame up here.
Malrine, he knows.
They are going to go
Crit had to go back to pick up Amar in this smoke, but Malrine, he's got the vision. And in Mame, there's no way out on this one. The kill will be taken by Crit. But it doesn't matter who takes the kill, who gets the bounty for that. The important part, shutting down Xtreme Gaming's carry.
It looks like XXS was debating, can I go the Helm? Do I need to rush the Blink before I even go Helm with Dominator on this mag? I think he would have really liked to just get Helm and start farming up. If this game were a slower pace, that might have been the play. Now he's just considering I need a Blink and we need to go do something.
I agree with this. Things are escalating far too quickly. You have the Blink Dagger on the Lesh rack. You can get the Blink Dagger on the mag. You can actually push back against some of Falcon's aggression.
They're looking to do just that. Gank the Snake King Tusk mid with the fresh Blink Dagger.
Tagged him with the poison.
Hesitant to go.
It's just a fine position, guys.
They're going to smoke instead. Look for a bigger target. They want to core off this.
Well, I'm not sure if they're going to find one. Crit is in prime placement here to break that smoke. Xtreme Gaming have actually just pinged on him. Jinkui's not even going to get in range. They miss out on that. And Amar is backing away. This is going to be a smoke entirely whiffed.
Just awkward timing too, because your Magnus Blink just arrived. So you're trying to make a small play with the Slash, but you do commit the smoke to it. And now XXS sitting here like, guys, I rushed the Blink. Time to make a play.
Yeah, play around me.
You just don't have much map control, and we saw the stacks being cleared through by the Sand King. I mean, the stack differential in this game must be insane. How much that triangle was built up for the Sand King here. He gets an Arcane Rune on top of it.
Well, Malrine has already secured the early game for Falcon, so he can think about his own scale, which we've seen these Sand Kings. They just get stronger and stronger as the game goes through. This Aghanim Scepter allows this hero to do so much more in the late game than he used to. A lot of times, strongest period being that level 12, level 2 Epicenter plus Aghanim Scepter. That's what he's working towards. Falcon's taking full advantage of the fact that they own a good 60 to 70% of the map. Playing behind Skeeter and playing for that 14-minute Wisdom Shrine. Xtreme, if they want to be able to contest this, it's going to have to be XXS pulling out a sick play. He's got the distance. He can maybe pull them into that tier 2 tower area.
Got to scout with the ET Spirit here. Gain some sort of vision advantage. Scan lands, they know they're there.
Malrine, he blinks backwards. Skeeter, he's the one to play on the front lines. Gets a little vision. Spots XM. XM, he's in danger of being blown up right away, but holds the jar copter. He's pulled back with there. TRP lands a 3-man. A skewer to finish off one, but the damage is not done yet. Malrine fighting underneath the sandstorm, and Ame behind the shards can't get to his allies.
He's blocked off.
He is blocked off, and now Falcons start making their retreat. Xnova desperately with the stomp. He gets
so
two.
good.
Ame, here comes the hammer. Malrine, he makes the bro strike away. Malrine's out. They'll try and get Snake King, but a shards to block him off again. Ame, he tried to show up for his team, but the path was blocked.
6 shards from Snake King there, salvaging that engagement. If Sven gets in there, you are all done.
And Amar is absolutely right. That was a 4 versus 5 fight. I wasn't sure. At first he was talking about the Sven, but no, he's talking about himself.
I was just about to say the same thing. That was a fight without the Ursa there. That's the fight you're supposed to win. You landed a massive RP. The only downside of that is he skewered him out of the Earth Splitter. He was trying to get him closer to Ame, but you ended up dodging the Earth Splitter's damage and then pushing them next to Ame. Didn't pay off because he got stuck behind the shards.
I also think in that situation, you cannot afford the Leshrac to be the one to jump first. He does the most damage, and he rushed a Blink Dagger. He is not tanky at all.
He just sacrificed himself on the front line to try and get the clump, which he did do. I don't think that's a terrible recipe for the team fight. They just couldn't clean it up. And Amar laughing all the way to the bank. He just gets to free farm the whole time. Well done, team. He's learning what Skeeter feels like every game.
He kind of is. 5,000 net worth lead, 7-2 to the favor of Falcons. Another 1,300 gold for that Aghanim Scepter for Malrine. Another 1,200 for Skeeter to get his own Aghanim Scepter.
This Ursa's forcing heroes off the map solo, man.
Yeah, just existing in this part of the map is limiting Xtreme's ability to farm. And soon he's going to have a Blink Dagger and be able to join his team if he chooses to do so.
XG as always, though, will keep farming. This team, pretty hard to force them behind unless you just completely route them off the map. They'll always find something. You have a lot of cleave mechanics to go to work, so got to keep Honey here with this Sand King. Keep putting Malrine's strength to use. Combine it with the supports. Look for the big key pickoffs. You lost some vision off of that fight. As usual, Xnova on point with the D-warding.
I like that Falcons went back to D-ward that high ground. Clearly in that team fight, Xtreme Gaming played around a high ground ward. They take that off the map and just make it a little bit more claustrophobic for Xtreme, who are currently huddled around each other in the mid lane.
For good reason. This gank coming through bottom would have landed if you're farming around in this area.
But then what about the top lane? You can't just let a solo Ursa continue to bully you.
It's a nice Ursa game.
It's a nice Ursa.
It's a very nice Ursa game. Not a lot in XG's lineup that wants to run at him for a very long time. And in fact, this is the flip side of that matchup we saw earlier, where it was the Ame Ursa against the Sven, right? He absolutely took it to Skeeter in that matchup. Falcons now reversing the script.
Well, at this point, it feels like Xtreme are just going to forfeit Roshan. They're going to forfeit Tormentors. I mean, if you're not playing anywhere close to the river, it just kind of guarantees that Ursa's going to be able to take all these objectives for Falcons. Xtreme, are they just already ramping up for the high ground defense in late game?
No, you can't give up that much in this game. They almost died on this ward down here. Oh, they're going back in. I don't know if this is where you want to be right now.
Xnova sacrificing his life to get some information, and it will be his life. Without a doubt.
Better him than a core.
That is true.
But you are continuing to give more momentum to the Sand King and make those objectives harder to contest whenever Amar feels the time has come.
How many more Helma Doms does Xtreme need at this point to be able to rat the map?
Only have the one for now.
The
We'll go a long way.
Amar and Malrine. Just checking out the top part of the map, seeing if anybody's here, anybody's farming up the Ancients. They are limiting control.
It feels like XG want to make a move with Ame's Blink. I mean, you can fight if you bring the Sven into the play and he's part of your initiation, but it's a very risky move for Ame.
Yeah,
if that goes wrong, his game just gets thrown down the drain. And it's going to be an instant Roshan or whatever from this bear if that fight is a disaster.
Oh, certainly. Without a BKB, there's a lot of magic damage in these team fights from Falcons. It pretty much means that you have to get a sick initiation if you're Xtreme, if you are going to take this fight.
Especially with Ags done on the Sand King. Maureen's timing perfect here. Just as XG thinking about gearing up for a move, the counter punch arrives, and it's a big one.
Maureen plays off the disruption. And Jinkyu and a Helmadam creep will die.
I think he was disrupting to send his illusions out to scout. They saw him on the ward.
Yeah.
It's a self-setup right there. Maureen says, thank you very much. That's the kill we needed, straight into the Roche pit.
Yeah, it wasn't going to really take much, that's for sure.
Now, the real question is, who takes this Aegis? Carry one or carry two?
It's time to determine who the true carry of Falcons is, and it's Amar.
He asserts dominance here. I think he is the better Aegis carrier.
You know what's funny? On the road to TI, I asked Amar, said, should I put you or Skeeter for my core in fantasy? And he said, if you get good stats for farm, take me. That's coming true. Man had a plan. Said Skeeter's going to be the one making space for me, and it's happening in this Game 4 of a TI Grand Finals.
I mean, space is one thing, but he's also top net worth on this gyro. Like, both these guys are getting a lot right now. And this Drinking Buddy's Tusk is still likely going to go into the gyro. There's a lot of problems for XG to solve in this game. This is not the same gyrocopter trajectory we saw in the previous match. He's going to have a lot better time in the fights. He has better matchups. He has more survivability. This will be a 5-man smoke move from XG. This has to land. I mean, this is a massive committal. You're down 12K at 21 minutes. If you whiff here, it's going to be a long road to come back.
Oh my God. Skeeter, he's backed away. It's looking like they're not going to get, I mean, they can maybe, with the position, take the safe lane tower, but a safe lane tower at 21 minutes?
Doesn't feel great.
No, not at all. I did kind of like the timing of that. Was interesting. It was right as Wisdom Shrine was going to spawn at 21, which Maureen, he went for, so he was nowhere in the neighborhood as a result.
Quick smoke from Falcons. Now they're looking to punch back. Not a bad idea. Once this smoke play fails from XG, it's very likely they split up across the map to return to the farming patterns. They will just miss XXS on top of that hill.
Yeah, Snake King shoving them back. And on the other side, Maureen and Crit, the true threat is here. The two-man power team. So much burst damage with this epicenter. They've got the mag dead. He tries to skewer away, but he cannot escape. And now, X-Nova, he can't escape the bear as well. No, wait, the Purge, it slowed him down just enough, but even worse, it's XM sinking. Now he arrives back into the fight, gets the stun, a Burrow Strike to finish him off. 2 cores dead on the side of Xtreme. The supports limp back to the base.
I mean, XM went in there, he finds Crit, but he pays a big price for sacrificing his positioning. No way you're fighting this bear with 2 lives. Basher already online. He's a catch hero now, too. He's a problem for the Sven. This pick has worked out beautifully. It's just dissuading Ame from joining any of these early fights. And both of these carries are getting massively over-farmed right now. Maybe you take down one, but are you going to be able to take down both? It seems incredibly unlikely. Back to the Magnus pick. You're going to have to make some magic happen if you're XXS here. I mean, this has been a player that XG have gone back to time and time again in their run to this finals. And he has made the plays. And once more, it'll fall on his shoulders to find the skewers or find the RPs. Looking towards BKB Ags of his own would give him a lot more capability to do that.
I'm telling you, man, it's just high ground defense. I think Xtreme Gaming don't really have any other options but just playing defense. And that's not going to feel good against Falcons, who are not known to speed things up.
I was just going to take the entire map, continue to hunt you, build an insurmountable lead. In theory, your lineup is great at high ground defense, but I don't care how good your lineup is. You're down 30, 40K. It's not going to matter.
XXS, got to get something here. Snake King, he'll make it as costly as possible. Stormhammer dodge, and he blinks away. Ame tried to get the cleave hit on him. Does not get the timing for it.
So is Ame's BKB as well.
And Snake King, he watches XM take the amp damage, tries to catch him in the shards. XM does manage to sidestep that one, though. So, a tool to use for the next 2 minutes. An amp damage rune on a Leshrac. He just needs BKB. The sad thing is, he is still a ways away from that.
I mean, does BKB even help him that much? The bear gets on top of you if you get punched by the Tusk. A lot of physical damage in this lineup, particularly with that Drinking Bundy's amping you up. You might get a taste of the bear right here. XM, that's not who you want to run into.
Amar hunting him down, got a bash. Not required, but Crit will lend a helping hand. Thanking Amar for the kill.
I mean, I think this is thanking him for the pick, because this is just working beautifully right now. XG do not have an answer to the off-lane Ursa. Was not on their bingo card.
Avery, tell me, what's the answer? It's the enemy team drafting 2 carries.
I've been saying we should do this for years. I'm from the NA region, Austin. We play with 3 carries. We were well ahead of the meta. I don't know why it hasn't been done before.
Is that what Xtreme's going to have to do if we go to a Game 5?
It might be. I mean, you just have to escalate, right? If they pick 2 carries, you got to pick 3. If they pick 3, you got to start building Midases. It's the only way you can go. That is the inevitability of Dota. And right now, XG, they would be loving some catch-up gold here because the lead is just spiraling out of control, man. It feels like every minute this game goes on, that graph is accelerating.
Well, the upside for Xtreme, if they ever do find a 4th kill in this game, they'll get a lot of comeback gold, as they are currently down 19,000 net worth. Another 2 minutes to Roshan. If Xtreme is going to make a move, I anticipate it's going to be around that. Looking for any items that'll change the nature of this game. It's still XM's BKB.
I think Daedalus for Ame. Give him the big crit. Empower this Sven. If you land some clutch stuns, clutch RP, clutch stomp on the Ursa when he's enraged, stuff like this, slow that fight down, let Ame go to work. This hero can output the DPS. You can bring anybody down.
Maybe he can kill Skeeter before the Satanic allows him to heal up, because that is what Skeeter's going to have. If Ame has Daedalus, Skeeter will have Satanic. And we aren't even going to talk about what Amar's going to be able to have. A level 20 Ursa with an Aghanim Scepter.
You have to kite somebody in this lineup. And it's likely the Ursa try and take down the Gyro. Like you said, if Skeeter gets to Satanic before this next Roche, which looks really likely here, man, he is tough to bring down too. Then you're going to need to get some good skewers here. Abuse the scouting from Xnova with the ET Spirit. You can find somebody, skewer them in, look for the RP, and then you have Disruption to bail out the return jump from Falcons. That kind of team fight can maybe out-execute.
Yeah, and you, on top of all of that, you have the Elder Titan to fish for the Magnus, right? He can keep on... If you're going to push into them, it's actually just so obnoxious. Stomp after stomp. If you ever do get hit by that stomp, you might get skewered back to the base, and then Demonic Purge and everything else you said.
There's that punch interrupt. I mean, Snake can always bail these situations out. He's having a really good game on this Tusk, so he got a very early blink in this game. He's going to be farmed. Looking for a Yules, that would be another interrupt. Of course, Magnus BKB prevents a couple of these shenanigans, but the punch can always land. They're the BKBs for XG. I mean, this is their best time to strike back, right? Triple BKB core timing, long durations on all of it. If you can try and land an RP, all in some of these heroes, yeah, Amar is strong, but he can't power through everything.
Against seemingly insurmountable odds, Xtreme Gaming, 5-man smoke, push out. If they get somehow a pick-off or a team fight that works for them, a fast Roshan could allow them to start changing the narrative of this game. Amar, though, he's fearless. He just jumped straight to XXS. Look at the damage he did. Both to XXS and Jin Q, who was in the way of that Battle Fury cleave. And Xnova is way out of position as his team got jumped. He hides away in the corner, gets a good ward down to contest Roshan, but he TPs back. But now Ame. Ame spotted. He really doesn't want to have to use his BKB here.
Amar looking for another entry. Has this deep ward on the lane. Ult is up. That's an Ags ult too. Can't go on him first. They will get the D ward though. Valuable D ward here.
Information might just be their greatest advantage between getting the D ward and having their own wards up.
These 5-man smokes are just usually not the ticket. And we're seeing XG all in their base again. When you're in this position, it's very tempting to just pop that and look for something, but it almost never works. And you're still closing in on this Daedalus for Ame. You really want that item to try and make this comeback possible.
You know, Avery, it's kind of fitting. I feel like there's been a lot of nostalgia at this TI, and I'm really feeling it looking at this kill score. 12-3, 29 minutes in. I feel like I'm back in like 2014 Dota.
It's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Be quite a different set of teams here if we were back that far. Some of the same players, though. Does take around 10 years to win a TI, unless you're Thompson.
Very few Royal Roaders in Dota's history, that's for sure. All right, Falcons are the ones to have the smoke, with Roshan at its almost max spawn point. Just another minute for that. They know it's guaranteed. They know it's coming their way. It's going to be in this bottom pit, so they're going to clear out this area. Get some good vision down. Xtreme, they only have this one ward to play around. It doesn't really see that much for you.
Just glimpses in that river around this bottom pit. Falcons, they don't want to reach too far with this smoke. Just clear the area out, secure the objective. Don't force a bad fight into all this turnaround potential. Yeah, you have an insane gold lead, but it can vanish in an instant, all this crazy scaling in AoE.
Put Xtreme in a position where if 5 people inside their base to play for Roshan, they'd have to just go for a Hail Mary 5-man smoke. And you've only got one more smoke left for time being on X Nova. So Xtreme say, just play for farm. Get an Aghanim Scepter on XXS. Get that Daedalus you were talking about on Ame. This Roshan will give them a solid 30 seconds, maybe even a full minute to get some farm. Ame maybe could take a Tormentor if he's real quick with it.
I think you gotta get something right here. Aegis onto the gyrocopter. This time around, Skeeter takes it. He will siege the high ground with that item.
The harder hero to get a good skewer back on, right?
100%. And even if you do, he might be able to survive through with Satanic. There's the Daedalus, though, so big crit's gonna come through. That's an empowered Sven. Almost level 20 as well. Does have the gunpowder gauntlet. Insane amount of burst damage coming out in those first few hits. Might just decide the fight.
Yes, he may be behind the Gyrocopter and the Ursa in net worth, but the Empower adds so much. The Epicenter fine gets the Magnus, though. And there goes all the initiation. Ame is going to try and chase after them, but they're already out. They're up to the high ground, and you cannot go blind up there.
I mean, also the Magnus is your catch. He gets found first. Your chase potential or looking for anything else goes down the drain.
So God Strength used, 70-second cooldown. What is Falcons going to get done in this window?
Go high ground. At least threaten it. Look for some opportunities on the jump from the Ursa while the gyro hits. No Magnus, you're not afraid of the skewer play. Drinking Buddies gives you the flak. No one can really approach here. An awkward glyph timing too. That was not the greatest.
No, with the wave not even there yet. An Octarine done for this Ursa. He's getting to that untouchable state where he gets to 25. He's jumping around with the Earthshock all the time. He will just be perma-enraged.
Look for the skewer.
Got the skewer back. No save this time. Snaking trying to pull him back. Shockwave dilutes him a little bit deeper. XXS got to be careful though. The second carry almost dies to Amar, but the demonic purge is there from Shin-Q. Good responses from Xtreme, but it simply doesn't feel like it's enough.
Gotta find ways to output damage, and that means waiting for God Strength to be back up. If Ame's available for that jump, there's turnaround, but he's still waiting on the cooldown. 2 seconds left for this ultimate. Gotta fish again, gotta find another skewer.
Skeeter getting closer and closer. Ame goes to challenge him, and he's pulled away a little bit by the Drinking Buddies. Now he pops the Satanic, and it's Ame's turn. Ame's low, corner HP. He needs to be able to hit something. It's finally gonna be Snaking. Gets that kill, starts backing away, but here comes Maureen with the Epicenter to slow him down. They take out Ame. XM in trouble outside the base. He'll be run down as well. 2 cores on Xtreme, neither have buyback, and Falcons in a position to push us to Game 5. It is over. Xtreme call it early. They say that's fine. Touche. We'll see you in Game 5.
This series will go the distance.